Reading, Greetings again, Grandmaster Amon Ra here, and I'm just fighting the good fight with the internet, and wanted to make sure that I add on the second part of what I was saying before the video. Mysteriously, again, started to distort. So basically, what I was saying in the first part was I was calling for a development of a camp here uh, in the Mombasa area of Kenya. The establishment of a camp uh, where like-minded members can be assured of having a place to stay or get food or get information or rendezvous or store uh, certain goods or imports, um, as a means of action. Now, this may not go far, or it may be the beginning of something larger. So I'm just starting out a conversation, see what people think about it, because, like I said, I believe in action and, moving forward with something. Now, this is not something that I say, it's not like a donate to the school or the school fund or anything like that. And this is strictly for individuals uh, that would be planning to come to Africa. So this is just an idea, and it'll take a lot of thought. But I thought I'd just put this out here and get the ball rolling. If anybody knows me, that's the way I am. It looks like you know uh, a good plan, something that can give people peace of mind, and at the same time give us something to be proud of in the continent. It will definitely show results for our actions. Let me see who that is. Oh, Kwaku, but you're back again. Yeah, I'm a fighter. I've fought in over 400 tournaments, and I don't like to lose. So sleepy as I am, I'm going to definitely come out here and send off this part that somehow was taken off. It can't defeat me that easily. So as I was saying, we wanted to start a conversation about establishing a camp, something that would be about no more than 3 acres of land to start off with, and then from there, doing a portrait. Are you going to paint me? Okay. Then from there, we move forward. It's something that just takes a bit of time, but all we have is time as a people. So just sit back and relax and listen to my idea. Then tell me what you guys think in the comment section. Uh, and somehow, it may seem far fetched at first, but maybe, can't hurt but try. So my idea, Hotep Glenda and Larry Blige, how are you? My idea is to somehow And I don't have everything together. It's just an idea to put out there. One of the problems that we have with black people about coming to Africa is that we don't know if we're going to make it or not. You come here and you say, "What is the unknown place? How would I get along? How would I work? How would I survive?" Basically, and if we had established a camp somewhere, uh, that the person knowing that when they come, they could survive. They can always fall back on it. Now, many blacks don't understand that if you failed in your situation in the country, you can go to the local American embassy and they will give you a plane ticket back home, and then you have to pay them back. So coming to Africa and attempting to make it, uh, it's nowhere where you'd be left on the street if like that. But and this is only, of course, if enough of us get together and try to establish a camp. It could be a brick foundation with a canvas top, easily can be made here. Uh, Tents like that, like half building, half tent. I've seen them in the army. Many people that's in the army, about these things, and just start off with, not a lot of money, but just to start off with, and then it grows as more people get involved in it. And then from those camps, people can move out on their own, attempt to develop themselves, make contacts with people, and then they would no longer need the camp, but we would expect that they would support the camp as they grow financially. So, like I said, it would be like a meeting place where people can go. Some people, if the situation calls for it, some people will not be able to afford hotels, but they want to stay for 3 and 4 and 5 months. So this would be a place where like-minded people, not all blacks, only like-minded people that are seeing that the truth is Africa and their debt situation is as such that they can't afford to do much more than a plane ticket to come here. There are plenty of opportunities, uh, and then more so when more of us come. But a camp that establishes shelter and food would be necessary to keep us from failing in our attempt to get established in Africa. So the camp would be real. People could see it, of course, on video, the YouTube every day. They can know what they're getting themselves into. So there's no way you can fake that. Uh, and like I said, it would only be for those people that are serious about moving to Africa and establishing themselves. So when we say that you want to come into Africa and you want to invest, of course you need to first secure shelter and food. So this is what I'm saying that we can do with a camp. Now there are a lot of Kenyans and Africans in general that will almost, let us use land. I think people have seen on Dinah's show, the guy was just ready to give him land. Even myself, I've been asked and told by friends of mine that anytime I want to come to Voi or Kisumu, these places, they can give me a piece of land. I can build a house on it. But I'm saying that we establish it in the coastal side of Mombasa because of the weather. The weather all year round is warm. So establishment of a camp is really easy. And the weather would be really great here in the coastal side. At night it won't be cold, and in the daytime, since it'll be closer to the beach areas, the weather will be fairly nice. So I'm a long way off I mean, we are a long way off from that. But like I said, I couldn't even sit here and give these videos if I didn't have something that we can reach out for. Because black people don't have enough things. ADOS is going to give us reparations, and they're going to give us hundreds of thousands. But we know what's going to happen. We already know what's going to happen in a capitalistic society like America. We go be that money is going to be taken from us, spent on unnecessary things, and then we find ourselves right back in the predicament that we started in, and this time with no recourse of reparations money. Blacks are going to do all kind of crazy things if they get money at the same time. But this is really not. This is really unimaginable that they're going to give money. The whole history of the United States is to not uh, take money away from us, and they're really serious. I mean, in the time of in the South, when they had that South movement um, to try to make blacks equal, the federal government could have easily established businesses and such in Mississippi to allow blacks to be equal, but that would have cost the government money, and nobody wanted to give out money. So instead, they said they're going to try to go through laws and use the troops and these kind of things because they didn't want to spend money on us. Look at the history of it. We've given them service. We fought in every war, and then at the end of the day, they lynch us in our uniforms. We have tried to get along with them. We tried to even be separate from them, but they just cross over the tracks and burn down our businesses and hang the owners like they did with Malcolm X's dad. This is terrible. What they did to Marcus Garvey shows that uh, they cannot tolerate us leaving the country in mass. They just don't want to tell you. So even we're under a delusion if we believe that we're going to all jump up and get on the plane. But I'm telling you that what's happening in the United States today, there is more and more people waking up and seeing that the end game is Africa. Now, I found it out 22 years ago. I mean, yeah, not even 22, 30 years ago. I came to that realization. And all in the time after I had decided to move to Africa in 1980, from 1987, I could just see the difference in how people reacted, how the problems that we were having. I was a martial art instructor, and I had on my own school, and I had students, and we would always get in talks about this and that situation coming up during the day, and I would always laugh at them and tell them, "Hey, you guys are going to be here with that madness. I'm leaving." But after some years, they just took me as a joke until one day they looked up and Amin was really going. They couldn't even believe it. But I knew I wasn't going to stay there. Sheesh. Black Beauty, brother Amin, how will YouTube new policy affect your channel? I don't know about the new policy. You know, here we're just gonna do it the way we did, and we're just gonna continue like that. Try to stay away from anything dealing with them stopping me from getting out this message, because I'm about action, and I know that's what's gonna affect them. Larry J. Bride, it's best to divest from America. Yes, but you also have to be realistic, and you need a starting point, and this is why I'm saying uh, we establish a camp. But it can hold anywhere from 50 to 100 people, and then when the camp grows to a size that's too big for the camp, then we change it into a village. And then when a village grows to be too big to be a village, we grow it into a town. And that is our end game. Some place where we can establish a school for our children, um, a council to guide and protect the people, a security force to protect the town, like that. In a country like Kenya, it'd be wonderful. And it's easily done without a lot of red tape or the government coming against us. Nobody would care. But you have to start off small as a camp and then see if it's going to be necessary or not. You may find that many black people will say no. But this is my idea. Don't mind me if I seem crazy. When I came to Kenya and told them I was going to make Kempo the largest martial art in the country, they thought I was crazy. When I said I wasn't going to have just a martial art tournament, I was going to have a league of tournaments, they thought I was crazy. They thought I was crazy. 20 years later, the league is still going strong. Exactly. But you have to have a base of operations so that you can travel out from. And let's say that you bring your things and you come into Africa and you land in one place and then you want to go explore different places. What's going to happen with your belongings? What's going to happen with your most important papers? You see, all of that, your birth certificate, all these kind of things, you would still need them. Where would you, when you need information, where can you get free internet just to look and discuss with people about what your plans are, the place you want to go? This is what a camp can provide people with. And if you fail, you can always get back to the camp. A camp can grow to a certain point where we can have legal assistance. So if something happens to someone, uh, we can have some place where people can be united to help you. Now in Kenya, it's another good thing about Kenya is that the legal system is not so serious against us. I've been here for 20 years. I've been dealing with the legal system, and I can say it's fair, very fair. So uh, nobody's going to come at us because of racial equality or oppress us or want to get us out of the country. Nothing like that. So I say that we establish it here in Mombasa, Kenya. Mombasa is the second largest city in Kenya, and right next door is Kilifi, which is another large county, but it's not as metropolis as Mombasa. Maybe we can do it there. We can establish a camp there. But this is just a conversation to get an idea started that we can discuss, as opposed to talking about what they did to us in the past and who did what, and hoping reparation money comes in the next 5 years and these kind of things. No, if you're going to make the move, we have to make the move, and I know how difficult that is. But an established camp where you can go and not have to worry about being on the streets or anything like that. This mentality is there in our people. That'll go a long way to help people. Because when you make a move like that, it definitely is a life changing decision. I mean, it's not so big as it was when I was coming in, but now, I mean, you can always talk to your relatives just like I'm talking to you now. You know, through the different social media platforms. You can be abreast of all the news that's going on in the U.S. You can't miss a thing. I know things going on in the U.S. that you guys don't know because I get all information on news sources from different countries. Where in the United States, it's very difficult to get that unless you're on social media directly. But there's no way you can miss. It's nothing like saying I need to see my uncle every few months and check on him, and there's no reason why you're gonna buy a plane ticket to fly back to see your uncle or your auntie or your family member or your grandma. You see, a camp can get you established, and then you can bring your grandmother to Africa. She can come with a social security check, and you can take really good care of her and you off of that money. So we have to establish that. I mean, a lot of you guys are in your 30s. What happens when you're in your 40s and 50s? Are you really prepared? See, and I know that in America we say like, oh, we can make it if I can just you're gambling, and always the gamble doesn't work out for the majority of us. Then they stick people like Byron Adams. They stick people like Tyler Perry on there, and then they make you feel like, okay, it's possible, but they let them get there. These guys, listen to their story. How many times they were rejected. It was somewhere along the line somebody had decided, well, this nigga, will let him go because he's persistent or whatever, and then he'll be the example for the rest of them. So at that time they're in a space where they're protected. Bill Cosby was in that space for a long time. He was protected, but then you see they just decided that no, we want him down, and you can see how fast that shit can turn around. Okay, I don't understand. Who he rude too. Why don't I come to New York and give a speech in Africa or about Africa? Well, I'm not really interested in coming back to the United States. You know, and I may have to come for my Social Security money, but see if that's possible. Unless they're watching these videos, or if that's not possible, then it's nothing really for me there. You know, uh, I absorbed all my time during the 10 years I was trying to get there, to get here. So basically, no. And no, I'm not running from the police. I'm not wanted by the police. I'm not a criminal. It's no. I'll be arrested. I'll be arrested for some crime in the United States. Nothing like that. Okay. I'm just a unique individual, and I was, like I said, I had 10 years to prepare for this trip. So my trip to come here, and I know there's a lot of people that's new to come and say that the nigga must have done something wrong. But you see, I've been here now for what, 22 years. And research me well, you'll see. I'm telling you that this is the case. Uh, America is not going to change in her stance of oppressing black people. She's just going to repackage it a certain way to keep us there. But even that, she's tired of, because once we don't have a black community, my people, we don't have power. Black community gone. Every day you walk out your house, your next door is a Mexican, your other neighbor is an Arab, your other neighbor is a Japanese, Asian. You walk outside now, you just look you feel like you're in a zoo, because you stand out like a sore thumb. The majority of people around you are not black. And some of you may be used to it because you've been doing it all your life. But others, you know what I'm talking about. There's nothing better than being in the area where you're the majority of the people. There's nothing better than being in where the majority of the people and the other people don't hate you. Trust me, that shit is whack. Yeah. I'm in L. We want to live near the shore. Yeah. Well, this is what I'm saying. Mombasa is in this area of eastern coast of, as far away from the white man as you can get. Not the West Coast. West Coast, he's all over there. So I see CIA headquarters in Ghana, if you didn't know. So, and it's been there since the 60s. So I don't know why they're telling blacks to go to Ghana. But if you fly all the way over to Kenya, it's hard for him to reach you over here. Trust me. Now, can we establish a camp? Yes, we can establish a camp, but we have to get all the modalities correct. It would take a funding, of course. I think that we can get some land donated to us. Just need 2 or 3 acres, and then buy the canvas and the bricks. And I don't think a tent would cost more than, to build a tent room, a large size room. It's maybe about $200, and we can make 10 of them, 15 of them. We can establish them. If somebody had tents in the U.S., they want to send and donate to us. You see, this is good. And I said that we can put a brick foundation, so you walk in, it'll just be like a house with walls, but it'll be temporary shelter. And of course, toilet areas and all that can be done. It's not a real big deal. Power is, that's why I say Mombasa, because electricity is always available, and we can establish electricity and internet, as opposed to being somewhere in the rural areas where there's no power, no electricity, no internet. That's be terrible. But the camp would have to have the ability to expand as people would come in and out. And then if it goes too big, then of course we all would sit down and say, okay, let's turn this camp into a village. So that would mean establishing permanent houses. Now remember, a camp where we build the camp doesn't necessarily have to be the same place where we establish the village. If we as a camp decide that we want to, we're like 70, 80 of us, and then we decide we want to, okay, now establish a village, then we can look for this location for that village. It can be the campsite, or it can be further out or further closer. We can decide all of that, and that would be exciting and fun to do. And the people that originally start supporting the camp would always have something they could be proud of. Now, I don't follow conventional means when I do these things. Has Amin Rod done things like this before? Yes, I've done things like this before. Uh, if there's other people that are more knowledgeable about certain areas, I always like to use them. I'm not somebody that's like I need to be the leader all the time or part of the time. Like I was telling my guys about an upcoming meeting, they want me to chair the meeting. I told them, man, you guys can run this meeting while the old man sits in the corner and sleeps. And they thought that was funny, but I was like, yeah, I've been to too many meetings. But establishing the camp is a serious thing. I know that I have a lot of expertise simply because of my experience here, and I have a lot to offer as far as getting it started. And I'm willing to do what it takes, but only when I have other like-minded people. I'm not about to go do something and try to do it on my own. I'm not like Dr. Umar. Trust me. You might see me talking now, but when it comes to establishing things, uh, it needs to be at least, I would say, I would need at least like 10, 15 people dedicated their time. Some people have to be able to fly here, sit in the camp and start developing it, and then hold it down as it grows. And then we would be also needing people to deal in social media to get the word out about the camp, and then explaining people about the camp to brothers and sisters in the United States. Because if the American economy falls again like it did in 2008, the camp would definitely grow in size, and many people would be coming. Can you see what I'm saying? Or am I the only one? Can you see how important this is? Or am I the only one to see that? Hmm? I was the one to see that Africa was the way to go way back in the day. And now you guys are here beginning to open your eyes and see that everything else we've done in the United States has failed. Oh, you guys, let me not slip. The camp, that's the wilderness. We established the village. Joshua, okay. I say camp uh, because we should start slow. And we should take our time. Not a lot of time, but to try to start a village, then we'd be needing to borrow credit to establish the water system and all that, uh, drainage systems and houses, and then if we grow too quickly, you end up getting too many people that we don't know if they're serious or not. And all it takes is subversion for one idiot to come in and start to split the village into group A and group B. We don't want that. We just want to have a camp that has a function. And that function is, number one, give shelter to any African American that comes to that shelter and supports the shelter. Number two, food. Food always ready and available, a meal. So that the person, when they come, they're going to get a meal, water to drink, juice, whatever. Those two things are a necessity. So the camp's main function is to give shelter and food. Now it's not going to be something spectacular. I know some of you guys, used to the city life and all of that, and go for it. I say Mombasa again because it's a major city. So many communities here that's fully, high-rise apartment buildings, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, family homes. They're all available here. You see? But if something was to go horribly wrong in your situation, the camp would be there to take care of you for a month or 2 months or however long it may take you to get back on your feet. You won't have to fall to the point of like homelessness here. I've never seen an African American here homeless. Most of the African Americans that come here, they got money. I don't know where they get the money from, but they rich. I'm like the poorest one. Truly, I'm like the poor. All my friends, they got more money and far more than me, and they're well established. But most of them are older than me, and they have pensions and Social Security money. So I don't have that yet. But I guess when I get my Social Security money, I'll be booming too. Because the money value is so high. But let's say that America economy fails, then that exchange rate would be definitely go lower. So we have to be prepared for that. Mhm. There's a black man in the States that created a water machine. Lance Kelly. It's not that serious, Lance. There's running water here all over the place. There's pipe water, but we wouldn't get a place where it's out in the bush and then you get eaten by lions. Nothing like that here in tropical land. It's just you can't. We would take a place that's not far from the main road, have a store real close by. I would like to establish our own camp store at one point. That'd be nice. But all the amenities are here. It's not like a camp in the mountains or somewhere. It would just be our place. When you drive up to a place, that's home. You're welcome there anytime. When you walk in the gate, everybody gonna speak with your accent. Yeah. You see, if you're here and you have friends and you say, okay, I'm coming, and you living in Nairobi, and the friend comes and they establish themselves at the camp. You fly out, or you drive out, or you take the high speed train and come to Mombasa, and you come into the camp. When you're driving into that camp, you feel so good, and then you see your friend and you hug and you say, and then you guys can sit down. All this in the privacy of your own camp. Nobody telling you keep the noise down. Nobody telling you, you know. And then like-minded people always enjoy each other's company. And the camp would be for only those people who have broken away from the American system, and they're just trying to establish themselves. Now, when I came into Kenya, I knew basically no one, and then I just I met friends through the students that I was teaching, and they were taking care of me before I even realized I was being taken care of. In other words, they had already plans for me to work out and stay at people's houses and all this if I had decided to stay in Kenya. But even me, being the hard-headed Black American, I wanted to be independent. So I got some of my things in the U.S. sold, got my money, and then bought a house, bought a car. I was a fool, and then I made all these mistakes, and then I ended up having to drop down to a one-room place where it was realistic towards the amount of income I was making in Kenya. And then I stayed like that for, I don't know, maybe almost a year before I was able to establish myself and get a one-bedroom. And then eventually I went from like the lowest rooms in the area to the highest apartment building in like the richest part of the town. So Africana House, if people remember that, in Kayole. And I was living there. So I was living the big life. And then I went back down a bit and then got reestablished. And then, it's like an up and down thing, you know. And I want to be able to save blacks a lot of heartaches of going, phew, hip, phew, as opposed to telling them so that, the movement will be a little bit like this when they establish themselves. And I think people would listen to me if I would tell them my story, which is a very good one. I wrote a book in Black Man's Guide to Moving in Africa where I talk about my story. It's available on PDF. If anybody interested, give me your email address and I can send you a copy. I've sent several copies to some people that like to read. Anyway, Morelli Molden, there you are, man. How is it? Greetings. That's all you're gonna say to me, man. Come on, I know you got a lot to say. We're talking about the camp. We're talking about the establishing of a camp. We're just making up an idea as I'm bringing forth to the people in the group, like yourself. And Dollar Bill, how are you, man? I see you. Joshua, what's going on? So the basics. Yeah, it'll be the basics. The camp would be basics. So I see you guys in there. I know you're thinking of ideas, running it through your head. Doesn't that feel good? Like, it really makes you feel like there's something. But the main thing that would happen here is that we'd be outside of the United States, and we would be free from racism and all of those other things. And all we have to do is, $1 bill. You want that book, huh? Okay, gosh, I think you need to put that to me. Please put that in the comment section if it's possible. If your email address, if you don't mind giving it out. Anybody that puts their email address in the comment section of this video once it's over, then I'll make sure I get you a PDF copy of Black Man's Guide to Moving to Modern Africa. Modern, yes. I just came in my bed. My bad. The camp sounds like a great idea. Well, see, now, Modern, when you say that, then I feel inspired. That I don't know how to tell people this, but my coming to Africa was not of my doing. It just came into my mind. And a lot of things come into my mind, and it becomes the truth. It becomes the reality. When I fought in martial art tournaments, what would come into my mind would always let me win. I could foresee it. And if you look at my videos here, when I started this channel about a couple of months ago, I've been putting in the work. Every 2 days, I'm putting out a video. I never mentioned about a camp. And I just want to tell you that I was asleep, and then the camp thing came into my mind. It's the same way in 2012. I was asleep, and the idea of a digital educational tool where people can use it on their phones came into my mind. 2012. 11. And look at this today. The program is helping hundreds of students. So, and it's set to go very far. Who toot? Make you a moderator. How do I do that? Add moderator. Boom. Now, you asked me and I did it. Now, there are other people who I would love to make a moderator, but our channel ain't that big, so I don't know what kind of work you're going to do. Okay, so, but help me out as you can. You're my first moderator. So, Black Beauty, please provide me with your email. Okay, I'm going to provide you with the email address. Why is this thing not working? Oh, I hit the wrong button. Okay, so those people that don't want the email on the chat, you can just email me. But make sure you let me know what you're talking about. I like your videos. Thanks. Can you give diaspora family ideas on business that they can bring into the motherland? Okay. There are some core businesses that are dealing with transport and food where you can't go wrong. I have videos on that, but I also know I have to redo the videos again and again. So I'll put another one. We'll definitely put out another one. If you have money to invest, it would be a good idea to listen to somebody that has experience like myself, rather than take your money and, I know you feel like, my money, I want to take a gamble. But, and you feel like that because you find that your money is a lot more here, and you find you got power and people respect you because you have money and you're a foreigner. But I think if I can show you a few people's example, a few people who had a lot of money and then blew it all in here, you think you'd be wise to establish yourself in a good business. Like there's a brother that was here, and I met him a couple of days ago, and he came out and said, "Ah, man, I've been doing all kind of businesses." Then he came out with the douche, where you have a women's douche. There's no douche in Africa. Women don't use douche. They don't have it here, so we thought that would be great. So I didn't have a heart to tell the brother, shoot, I got a box full of them things from China that I tried to sell, and they didn't sell because, as my wife appropriately told me, women don't like African women don't like sticking things in their up their vagina. So but I funny how I still feel like it can work. I can educate the people, but educating people on something new in Africa is very difficult. Africans are very conservative people, so you have to keep that in mind when you talk about any kind of business. Mississippi 4589, thanks for coming back. Can you make it as a ebook? That way we can purchase it and you can make some money. Okay. This is how you can support me. I'm gonna give out the book, no problem, but this is how you support us. We want to keep it like that. Uh, I would be a fool to tell you I don't need money. I would be a fool to tell you money don't matter. I'm not gonna be lying to you like that. I won't even tell you that I love you. Like Dr. Claude Anderson, I love black people. Hell, how many people done me wrong and they black? You see, it's just something that's in me to do this. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's a driving force or what. But I know one thing, even me, because I have many streams of income, I'll lose interest and time on anything that's not giving me a profit in some sort of way. So I depend on you guys to say, uh, if you like what we're talking about, support the channel. And I would ask that you go check over the other videos so that you can see what's happening. And also go to my Facebook account and review that too. What you need to do is really study me, so that you can get all those simple words out your mind that this guy's a scam artist. This like you don't see that here, because at the early days they were trying to say that, and then they all went quiet because they couldn't find that dirt. And you know how some people are, they'll make up dirt when they can't find no dirt. So we just have to deal with that too. GT Realist Hamilton, that's Chris Hamilton. How are you, sir? How about a reefer van to transport fruit and vegetables to neighboring countries and to Tanzania or Uganda? Africans already got that down as far as transporting goods. You see, at the end of the point, you need to go to a destination, which is probably an African market. And nobody really gonna buy fruit outside of the way they normally do business. So you'd have to gather up fruit from someplace and then ended up selling it in the market, where then they would now distribute it out to their customers, the hotels, the businesses, the stores. I live near Kongwea Market, and it's one of the biggest in East Africa. My goodness, and they have a system, and it's been in place if you're just walking around that market, you can just see it's been there for like hundreds of years, and although they have expanded it, they just built a 4-layer section at the market. I think I did a video of going through the market, so if you check the videos, you might see walking in Kongoya Market. But the transport is they have that down. Break into it would be slow. If you can get into it, yeah. Now, transporting of people, that's fast money. That might work. But I think one of the great areas to make money in is definitely in IT. Data storage is going to be big here in Kenya soon, very, very soon, because they're starting to use IT and they don't know what they do with the data now. So they, that need is going to come up there as far as an IT is concerned. Uh, Other areas is advertising and marketing. That's big in Nairobi and a bit in Mombasa. Yeah. Uh, so there are other specialty jobs and side businesses that you can get into. There are a lot of buildings in Nairobi where you walk in and they're just different stalls. People just start their own type of businesses, and you can walk through there and get an idea of what's trending as far as business is concerned. And buying and selling is definitely a big thing in Kenya. Clothes, definitely you can do good with selling clothes and and the like, because the population is always growing, and you can get things, uh, do things like that. Mike, hi, you welcome home. Thanks, man. Uh, I'm into logistics here in the States. Okay, now there's a black belt I know, Bernard. He's in logistics also. I don't know. You guys know what that thing's about. This guy, I don't know. You know, he's in the crew, and there's a big crater in near the crew, and I don't know. They do like logistics. He explained it to me uh, when I was in the crew for so many months back, and it was fascinating the type of work he does. And I don't know. Maybe you can hook up with him, Bernard. Uh, that definitely they do like logistics here. I'm not trying to facet what fascist, but is there any good smoke in Mombasa? There's no smoke in Mombasa. Marijuana is illegal. Totally, totally, totally. Uh, Chris is saying, how about buying a few motorcycles from Uganda and have a manufacturing plant there? Yeah, we had discussed that before. That's a good business. It's everywhere. I mean, the other day, these guys are putting up motorcycle repair shops in stalls that are made for selling food and things like that. So because the motorcycles are a big business now, you can definitely get involved in that. And recently, I mean, not long ago, I was saying I was going to interview the motorcycle guy, but the guy's always on the motorcycle, and I can't really get time to catch him. And then when I talked to him about the idea, the one I was choosing, he wasn't the idea. His English was like off, and I don't want to get you somebody that's just going to say whatever you want. They think you want to hear. I want somebody to give me the real story, somebody that's really articulate. And to tell you the truth, I have not found that guy yet. But when I find him, somebody that's owning like 4 or 5 motorcycles, will definitely put him on the show and interview him. I got a few interviews in the pipe. I just haven't uploaded them yet, but I'll do that. AK, there you are. AK, a food restaurant in a big city with food delivery can work in towns like Nakuru, Mombasa, Nairobi, coffee house. Too, yeah, okay. But AK, I think you're in. I think you're in Kenya, so you know what's up. I got a black American guy here. He opened up a fish place in a tent on the main road opposite the mall, the biggest mall in Mombasa. And he's got a tent directly across the street from it, and he's making fish. But the county told him he couldn't put chairs there, and people can't eat there. So he's got it's like a drive-through. You go down the road, you see you parking, and you order your fish, then you get in and you drive off. That's the kind of clientele he wants. It's called American Fish Fry, and yeah. But when I was there, I didn't see much business. But he's persevering. He has to pay monthly for the tent to put the tent up from the county government, and he has said that some of the county people come there and asking for bribes, and they had to have some standoff, and then he got some heavyweight government official to stop all that. So that's the life in Kenya. It's not that bad, but the guy's doing. It's got a nice little place there. Hope it can grow. I don't know. I don't know weed was illegal in Kenya. That's great. It's illegal in Kenya. So is homosexuality. So Get back to the basics, buddy. Clear your head, raise your family. A lot of things that are in America that you'll find are detriment to family. I mean, getting high, come on, that's like drinking. And America has gone to that level, stooped to that level where they do, homosexual activities, and now they're talking about legalizing pedophilia. Europe has got it bad. Italy got it bad. Look at them countries. They were subsidized. Now they're no longer being subsidized. They're dropping down to nothing. And all these people want to do is just sit around there and pet on a little 5-year-old, 6-year-old kid. It's terrible. And we black people, we're stuck in that environment, and then we become a victim of that environment. How many black homosexuals are there in America? It's ridiculous. I remember a time when that shit was frowned on completely. It was a joke. And now America has, with the help of Obama, has given these people legal status. And they break into every area. I'm sure when the ADOS comes out with something, or the FBA movement comes out with something, they're going to be a fraction. They're going to say, what about us? What about the sweeties here? Where you need to be, you got to deal with the LGBT section of that thing. It's very bad. Yes. Oh, thank you. That's right. That's what an administrator does. Tell them, get the likes up. Yes. I should have known that a long time ago. And you look like you're good at this, Hiru. Damn. Thanks. I'm confused. Antonio Perti. I'm confused. Numerous websites is saying Nigeria is the number one economy as far as GDP. No. Nigeria's economy is, and I know Dynas is going to hate me for saying this. It's not the number one for GDP. But you see, that's my job, because I've been here 20-something years. I can tell you from facts. So what's the problem with Nigeria? It's very popular. See, people are attracted to all the numbers of people that are congregated in one place. But the problem with Nigeria, as many of you can realize, but based on a lot of people scammers that come from Nigeria, the educational system doesn't work for many of the people. Over 90 million primary school kids don't go to school. You see? And so this spills over into, that's why they have the highest rate of unorthodox church, like in Kenya, most people are either Christian or they're Muslim. And it's like undenominational African religions is like 1% or 3% in most African countries. But in Nigeria, it's over 10%. So you get a lot of the rituals and things like that. And then, of course, they have people that are saying, no, we want no to Western education because they have monarchies and where they did things from generation to generation. But these are just people who don't want to go to school, don't want to learn and read and write. And then you have a group that, you know how they are, even in the U.S., they're there. They don't learn and read and write, but they pretend like they know how to read and write. They go through life like that. I met a Kenyan lady like that. She didn't know how to read one word. Damn. I couldn't believe it. I kept on checking on her, and she really couldn't read. I don't know what it is. But in Nigeria, they're everywhere. And these people are subjected to be pretty good scammers. They cannot know how to read and write, but they can get a laptop and then learn how to do coding. You have to understand this. Some of the most brilliant minds come out of Nigeria, but at the same time, if you go there, you're going to be subjected to a lot of these people that are out there that are trying to hustle and make it without much education. And that is the problem. Now, you and I, we go there, you think like everybody's educated, everybody know how to write and read and talk. No. The majority of the people that come around you and start talking to you and dealing with you may not have education, a solid educational background. It's because a lot of people don't go to school. And that is what I have found in my research of Nigeria. Not a bad place, but you really got to watch out for yourself. African superstar went there and she got a taste of it. She was here in Kenya. She was like loving it. Oh man, she had met friends. Everybody's there taking good care of her. The friendliness of Kenya is just overwhelming. Then she went to Nigeria. Woo! Hey, they were scamming her from the moment she arrived, and based on her videos. So may not be true. I don't know, but based on her videos, there was a stark difference in the time that she was in Kenya. You can go to African Superstar channel and look at the videos when she's in Kenya. Look at her face. Look how she's talking. Look how happy she is. Then she goes to Nigeria. First day, she's writing, "Oh my God, these people is tripping," and it's because of that. That's my opinion. Just my opinion. So save yourself some trouble with dealing with Nigerians. Even me, I was to go there because I saw the big numbers, but I changed to go to Kinshasa instead, closer to Kenya, and it's going to be part of the East African community, hopefully, anytime soon. Larry J. Blige is, oh, Yvette Carnell is gay, so she has an agenda within ADOS. Yeah, she can never go to Africa. You see, she knows that. So she's just gonna have to be a good house Negro in the dark. If she's gay, I don't know. Well, a lot of them guys, they got that kind of target on the booty, then they don't have no place here. And the Western agencies are always trying to get on Uhuru for not, giving in to gay rights. It's silly. Why are we talking about gay rights when we should be talking about blacks' rights? Boko Haram in the north of Nigeria. I think that's a CIA-backed agency. Everything points to that. And the government of Nigeria has a problem with saying this out loud because it just would cause more political backlash. And, like that. I just see it like that. And somehow these governments are somehow involved in that thing. I don't know how, but it doesn't even make sense. They're in the oil-rich area and they want to be autonomous from Nigeria. Okay, that can make sense, but going around destabilizing your own area where your family grows up, your parents are, that's just un-African. So I don't see how that, and then it looks too much like Al Qaeda. They all look alike. What's their agenda? Where's their homeland? Where is their base of operations? Like Al Qaeda, what country are they from? There's no country. You see, so why are they existing? How? You can just stick them right there with Building 7 that dropped during 9/11. Nobody know where they come from. How did it happen? We have to see the delusion is serious, and we have to be able to break away from that. Okay, hi there, master teacher. Tanu with melanin. That's nice. Thank you for coming on the show. Yeah, she was ripped off at the hotel. Yeah, okay. It's true. Nigerians are known to be scammers. Okay, people say that they are scammers. And I'm trying to say the basis of why they are scammers. And I have seen that the problem with Nigerians is that they think a lot of them, many of them are very educated, but the ones who are not educated tend to want to try to pretend like they're educated. Or the worst, they become self-educated and then they take it upon themselves to attack everything that's an establishment. And that forces them, they get the thrill out of scamming the people because they were denied education or refused education or didn't do education. They want to show that they can make it and be successful without the big academic education. Even in Kenya, you see people like that here. But the reality of it is, in a complex game of business, when you want to move higher, you're going to need education, or you're going to need to have somebody that's smart. You see, and that's where these guys get off. Okay, so once again, if you're coming in late, this is we support this channel. We don't have Patreon. We refuse that stuff because I'm not going to fill out a 1099 form and be attacked by the IRS. From what I understand, you have to have a bank account in the U.S. in order to get Super Chat and those things, or get checks from them, and then you can be demonetized for for anything that you might say. Like if I talk about gayism in Kenya, or gayism in the United States, it could be a problem. And if I was monetized channel, they could cut me off. So now I wouldn't be able to talk about that. And this is the problem with a lot of content providers. They know what they can say and what they can't say. They know what they can do and what they can't do. And I don't want to be restricted like that. I want to be able to say what I have to say and not have to worry about being blocked. So until they decide that then no one should talk about moving out of the country. America is the land of the free, but we don't want you to leave the country without in mass numbers. Then that's till they stop us like that. Then we're going to continue. So that I gave my idea about the camp. You guys have put little ideas in here. I think when we come back in next time, you'll also put some views in. Please remember to remind me about the camp on a regular basis when you have an idea, and let's start the discussion. Because I don't want to have a channel where we just I talk to you. I want a channel where we have something going for ourselves, and I think it's exciting if we say we could start a camp, and we make a name for the camp, and then we establish a camp, and then Black people come and stay in the camp, and then the word gets out, and then we grow. We be part of something that we developed from a social media standpoint. I love that. So till the next time we meet, this is Grandmaster Amon Rock coming to you live from Kenya, where you get all the direct information. Never too late to support the channel. Especially you new people that are out there, let's show some love now. $5, $10, Just go to worldremit.com, money wallet, the mobile wallet. This is the phone number. This is my wife, Evalyne. And till the next time we meet, peace. Hey, African Tigress. Is she in the building? I'm all right. Oh, she's in. Okay, see, now I got to stop. I was going to go off of then. So, African Tigress, are you still in South Africa? Did you get a chance to go to that street and meet the chapati lady? Anyway, I look forward to seeing you when you get back to Kenya. You're coming back, or you're not going to live in? You're going to live in? Are you going to live in South Africa or what? You're never coming back to Kenya? Anyway, tell me. I had told you there's no beautiful ladies in South Africa. So I'm seeing if you start getting hit on by a lot of guys, you see why, because it's not that many. That was some years ago, but I don't know, maybe it's changed. I don't know, but you tell me. I have to live in Kenya. Yeah. Okay. So until the next time we meet, peace.